Okay, guys, I'm here to give you my TNA Smackdown review. I know it's just very late, but I was busy this weekend, but I watched it last night. TNA happened on October 3rd, 2013, and we had Taz and Mike Tenay on commentary. Now I want to do the small stuff first. I'll talk about Ethan's video package. He's coming to TNA. It showed him like walking into like a ball or something, and all the girls wanted him. He's like, you're not too good enough for me. So I don't know what this means, what feuds he'll be in. So we'll see where we go with that. We got a Gunner and James Storm video package. They talked about the tag team stuff. It was pretty interesting. But I didn't really care. Like I cared, but like they're not really doing much with. They haven't done anything with the tag team championship, so they need to do something. They didn't announce that it's going to be the Bromans versus Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. Bromans being Jesse Gattos and Robbie E. Eric Young and Joseph Polk. What else? There was one final team. Oh, and Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez. I kind of would like to see Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian wins. Kurt Angle video package that shows his Hall of Fame. It's kind of a shame they can't show any of his WWE stuff because he's done a lot in WWE. Like he won that big 6-man Hell in a Cell match, but you know whatever. So I guess I'll talk about first. I'll talk about Brooke versus Velvet Sky, and winner becomes the #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship at Bound for Glory. Um, the match never started. Lady Tapa came out and interfered and attacked Velvet Sky, and she finally made her debut. I think maybe she'll face ODB for the Knockouts Championship. I don't know if she'll win the championship because ODB just got the championship, but well, and I'll talk about. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I'll talk about Kenny King and Chris Sabin with Velvet Sky versus Manic and Jeff Hardy with Austin Aries on commentary. Um, it was okay. I think the tag team match actually was pretty good. Kenny King and Chris Sabin were pretty good as tag team wrestlers. But Manic hit the double knees to the gut on Kenny King, and Jeff Hardy hit a swanton bomb on him for the win. And then Chris Sabin attacked Manic and Jeff Hardy after the match, and Austin Aries got in the ring, but Chris Sabin ran away. And Austin Aries makes a challenge at Bound for Glory. It's gonna for Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Hardy versus Austin Aries versus Chris Sabin versus Manic for the X Division Championship. And Jeff Hardy says he wants it to be an Ultimate X match, so I'm looking forward to that match. I thought the match. I'm looking forward to more of the AJ Styles and Bully Ray match, but I'm looking forward to that. I think that match though is going to be like the highlights of the night. The highlight of the night. So, um, I'll talk about Ego versus Magnus in a gauntlet match. Um, they talked about like some stuff they did with it, like how Stin injured his knee, and how they injured his knee, and Magnus says he doesn't want his help. He wants to do it alone, and that, they actually had pretty good They actually had pretty good matches. No one got jobbed out. Christopher Daniels started off the match first, and they actually had not a bad match. Christopher Daniels had like a leg hold into him, and then but Magnus ended up getting the win by like dropping him down with like a body slam kind of move. And then Chris Kazarian came out. They had a pretty good match too, but Magnus beat him with the Texas Cloverleaf. And then Bobby Roode was coming out, and then Kazarian chopped the leg and attacked the leg, and Bobby Roode just went right to work. Bobby Roode went right to work, and but Magnus tried to fight back. He hit his finishers on him. He did the cloverleaf, but Roode just clipped the leg and did the crossface, but Magnus refused to give up. So Bobby Roode put him in the ankle lock, and then Magnus tapped out, and he was always disappointed. And I actually thought he was going to turn heel, but Sting came out, and Magnus said that he's always just going to come this close. Sting, you may see it in me. Kurt Angle may see it in me. Samoa Joe may see it in me, but I don't see me. I think I'm always going to come this close. Who's going to give me that big break? And Sting talked about how Ric Flair gave him this big break. So Sting says, I'm going to give you your big break at Bound for Glory. So at Bound for Glory, it's going to be Stin versus Magnus. I actually think that could be a really good match, and I think that's where Magnus will get his big break. Now I'll talk about the AJ Styles Bully Ray build-up. It was okay. AJ Styles talked about Bully Ray just like Dixie Carter. He'll kick because he's been kicking people to the side like Mr. Anderson, Devon, Wes Briscoe. So he talks about that, and he talks about how he has a match with Samoa Joe, and Dixie Carter throws AJ Styles out of the building. So then we get the match between Samoa Joe and Bully Ray. It was decent. Bully Ray gets disqualified when he uses the chain because the referee saw him. And then he goes to power drive Samoa Joe on the floor, but AJ Styles takes him out by flying over the steps, and then he wanders away from security. So AJ Styles is definitely winning that World Heavyweight Championship. And then Hulk Hogan's decision, people are talking from that backstage like Stin. He says he'll have his back all the time. And Dixie Carter tried to bribe him by giving him a watch. And then who else? Austin Aries talked about how like there was NWO Hulk Hogan, and then there was the real Hulk Hogan. He said you should go NWO because you could have your career further. And then Hulk Hogan comes out, and Dixie Carter says we could do so much together. Your career would go high. And Hulk Hogan says he agrees. It's a tough decision, but you're gonna have to do it with someone else because Hulk Hogan quits. I don't know if he's leaving TNA or, but he quit. I don't know if he's leaving TNA or not, though. That could be what that means. Then we're going to get to SmackDown. I'm going to do it quick because I don't have much time. We got JBL and Michael Cole on commentary. I'll start with the Lost Matadors match. I'll start with Kofi Kingston versus Biggie Langston. Biggie Langston just dominates him, and Kofi Kingston just rolls him up for the win. Then afterwards, the Wyatt family come out and they talk about how you need like a hero or something. And then they announces that Battleground is going to be Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. That could be decent. Good. And then Brie Bella beat Oksana after doing a face buster off the top rope, and AJ Lee came out and talked about like some weird shit about like how they're gonna get married, how they're gonna make how Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are gonna make an ugly baby. It was weird. And then Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal versus Lost Matadors without Jericho. Same thing. They dropped Jinder Mahal. It was the same match on Raw, pretty much. I'll talk about Ryback squashing R-Truth. And then afterwards, Curtis Axel attacked him afterwards. And Paul Heyman talked about how, talked about R-Truth for a little bit. But he mainly talked about Punk. Says the same thing he always says. So. And then RVD beat Fandango by disqualification because Summerway pulled him down when he went to do his 5-star frog splash, and then he did the Vam Daminator with the trash can in his face, and then he gave it to Alberto Del Rio as a gift, and I would be like, what the fuck? Why is he giving me this? And then Del Rio beat Dolph Ziggler in a pretty good match. While Damian Sandow was on commentary, it was so annoying. They kept telling Sandow to go cash in the Money in the Bank every time Dolph Ziggler got a move in. But I didn't really see the point of doing that because I think the match was still going on. So I don't know if you can do it while a match is still going on. So then Big Show comes out and talks about how he threatened Triple H, and then yada yada yada. Triple H comes out and says that he bought his mortgage, so he owns Big Show's house now. So he owes Big Show. So now Big Show gives him money, and he changed the match to The Shield and Randy Orton versus Big Show. Big Show ended up not getting dominated, but at the end he ended up getting RKO'd, and The Shield, and then Orton was gonna put the chair around his neck, but the Usos came out and attacked Rollins and Reigns, and then Daniel Bryan came out and attacked Randy Orton. Got him in the S-lock, but Dean Ambrose came in and then hit the running knee on him, so that was fine. I think SmackDown and TNA were pretty average this week. I think SmackDown was just okay. I think TNA was average because I knew Hulk Hogan wasn't going to go with Dixie Carter, but I hope he leaves TNA because I think TNA can use the younger stars now to get themselves over because it seems like Hulk Hogan was always over them, so... Yeah, but that's pretty much it for SmackDown and TNA. I'm gonna do predictions video in a few minutes after I get this uploaded. But that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.